James 1 is James, the wine guy. The wines we have next are Green Valley of Russian River Valley. Now these are 2 Pinot Noir and 1 Syrah. Stay tuned for this review. Really excited about these wines because on this tasting, it was a really great way to highlight, encapsulate the particular region, sub-AVA in Sonoma County, and it's known as Green Valley of Russian River Valley. So this is to distinguish from Solano County's Green Valley. First, this wine right here. Now this is a Sedition wine. This is Camlow's wine, and this is a sheer Syrah. So here we go first with this wine. Now Sedition, lovely wine, really beautiful, very identifiable. And what I think that's really remarkable is if you look at the reason for some sub-AVAs, I can't explain them all in this video, but just to really talk about this, it's on the western portion of Russian River Valley. So if you visit our RV, you'll see that it's a really superbly flat space, which is unusual in many wine countries. There's some uplift here and there, but if you go towards the western portion of the valley itself, you're going to see this uplift, and that Green Valley is really part of that. So here's what we have: 2013 vintage Sedition Pinot Noir from the Chenoweth Vineyard. And so really low ABV here, 13.8% ABV. And here's the back label to look at. So it says sedition is a noun, a rebellious disorder. And so I think it's really to highlight the beauty of the fruit of this region. And I think it's really fantastic. I look at the coloration here, and it is really that cathedral stained glass window. So 13.8%. You know, you can look at this and say, oh, it's only 0.2 percentage points next to 14%. But at some level, I really do enjoy something in the 13s. I think it means a lot. It does express a lot. Where, you know, other wine varieties are really, really sensitive or less sensitive. I would say that Pinot Noir is extremely sensitive in terms of its, alcohol content. A lot of people I hear will say something like, oh, that's really good. It doesn't taste like a 14.8% Pinot Noir. Because I think, in my opinion, yes, I know you want the acidities to be there. You want a lot of things to go on, flavor and so forth, to arrive and not pick too early for a lower alcohol content wine. But at another point, you know, it's just so hot that it really is masking flavors, that extreme beauty and delicacy. And the clones are Pommard 667 and 828. Now this wine spends 16 months in 33% new French oak. So in this characterization, I'm getting notes of mixed bramble, black cherry, anise, pepper, rose petal, and suede. Next, the flavor characterization. Notes on this, savory notes. I am really enjoying this. The graphite quality in this is really exquisite and beautiful and delicate, and it just weaves through additional characterizations of black cherry, a bit of black pepper, a bit of tayberry as well, bay leaf and violets. 93 points out of 100 points. So this wine is next. This is Camlow's Magna Porcum, Big Pig. And so it's a really exquisite wine. So comparing the Sedition to the Magna Porcum Camlow's wine, it is really a different wine altogether. Coloration is quite different. It's telling about clonal identity, and so I think that's really significant here, and nicely done. So here's the label here, Magna Porcum. So really a love affair of pork, estate grown Pinot Noir, Green Valley, Russian River Valley, 2013 vintage, back label 14.4% ABV, and so it's containing 4 clones, as you can see here: Swan, Pommard, DRC, and Calera. And I think those are really highly influential in Green Valley of Russian River Valley. So I think this is a really exquisite wine in terms of its weight. It's a little weightier in my opinion. There's no absolute pronouncement for or against one wine being better than the other. Oak signature on this is French. It is a bit of new, old, and second use oak. So first, a point score, 93 points out of 100 points, and same characterization as of rose petal, red black cherry, forest floor, and suede. Really exotic, beautiful characterization, evocative characterization. And this is where, in my opinion, the Burgundy glass is absolutely necessary to get that swirl action. So it's a really highly identified Pinot Noir, of course. And in some ways, I would say characterized, I get a lot of Valley Floor, RRV, Russian River Valley, Pinot Noir. And sometimes it's really, a lot of that is extreme characterization of violets or crushed red candy. Not a bad thing, it's just a different characterization altogether. This, I think, is getting some savory qualities, just as I got the savory quality in the Sedition Wine. That Hoisin characterization, black cherry, tayberry, red tea, white pepper, and violets. Fantastic. Again, 93 points out of 100 points. And the next wine is Scherrer's. Now this is from Calypso Vineyard, Syrah Green Valley of Russian River Valley, 2012 vintage, 14.5% ABV. Back label to review here. I think this is an exquisite Syrah. I love Syrah from Sonoma County. It's, in my opinion, it's one that's not tasted enough. And I think it's exquisitely and well crafted. It's the right place to do Syrah, and exquisite Syrah, and a handshake of really gorgeous notes of spice and floral components, as well as really beautiful spice characterization. So here we go, first with the point score. This is 92 points out of 100 points. On this I'm getting notes of blackberry, cinnamon, hint of clove, and suede. Really beautiful outdoorsy notes as well, forest floor. Fantastic. Next, the flavor characterization. Really identifiable notes of blackberry, a bit of blueberry on this as well. But I like that the marriage on this is that it's giving that handshake of tamarind, earth, game. And they're doing this really exquisite dance, if you will, in terms of how this wine characterizes. That's a beauty and evocation of Syrah. Syrah is not always that linear characterization of just fruit, intense fruit characterization of, you know, the bay leaf and the cardamom, all of this coming together, and a bit of violet as well, and making for a luxuriant wine and a great experience to enjoy with food or alone. But I think food is going to be maximized with it. So that particular tri-tip recipe I'll list down below. So I think, you know, give permission to yourself to enjoy tri-tip and Syrah and these Pinot Noir. I think they're fantastic. More information on each producer will be listed down below. Questions and comments, please list them. Bring them my way. I really appreciate that. I appreciate your support this year. And it's been an amazing tasting year. 2016 has been completely rich, exciting. Have a conversation. I'm also on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn, as well as Instagram and WordPress. Thank you again for your support today. Stay tuned for more. Sante.